Good news, bad news for the Lakers. Hi there, everybody. Happy Monday morning. We hope you had a fabulous weekend. This is Undisputed. I'm Jen Hale alongside Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jen.
I saw you yesterday on TV, courtside at the Lakers. One quick shot, and you were fraternizing with the Chicago Bulls at the end of the game, and LeBron is not going to love that.
No, they were just acknowledging me talking,
I don't know. You know who used to play for the Bulls?
Oh,
The real 23, the original.
Scottie Pippen?
Not the guy who stole the
Orlando Woolridge.
powder toss.
Whatever.
Yeah, okay. Better be careful.
Jerry Sloan.
Yeah, Jerry Sloan used to play for the Bulls.
Before you two revert to the MJ LeBron debate, guys, let's jump into the current Lakers. Shannon, you were there to help welcome LeBron back to the court. He made his big return yesterday. This after missing 13 games with a foot injury. However, the Lakers could not get the win. They go down 118-108 to the Bulls. LeBron did come off the bench. He contributed 19 points and 8 rebounds. Shannon, since you were an eye viewer, how did LeBron look when he returned?
Rusty. He looked like a guy that had been out for a month, that had missed 13 games, got winded fairly quick, and that's to be expected. Because when you take time off, Skip, you have to let the foot heal, so you don't know, you're not doing any cardio, you're not doing any bike. I don't know how much pool work he was doing, but you get in shape and you stay in conditioning by doing the things that you play in the sport that you play, which is basketball. So running up and down the court, doing things of that nature, that's the way to stay in conditioning, and he wasn't allowed to do those things. But after a while, you could see he started to resemble himself, started to play downhill. He missed some shots. The ball looked good from where I was sitting. I saw him take a couple of shots, took a three, and took another shot, and it looked good. I mean, had great rotation on the ball, was just a little flat and hit the front of the rim. But I think by Wednesday, they play the Bulls again in Chicago, and then they got, another 4 or 5 games on the road, even though the Clipper game, Skip, is in L.A. is considered a road game. But I think by Wednesday, with a little bit more conditioning, obviously he came off the bench for only the second time in his career. Came up, second time in 1,958 games.
Yep.
First time since December 11th, 2007. But Skip, all in all, I thought he looked good. Obviously there was some concern. I'm sure he had some concerns in his head, because he was doubtful, then questionable game time decision. And then as we got closer and closer, started to get closer and closer to the game, it was breaking news. LeBron is, eligible, going to play. And I was like, oh, man. And so, but I like what I saw, Skip. I think by Wednesday, you'll see a different LeBron. He had 19 points. He led the team in scoring, 6 of 11, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. He was a +4 and plus minus. I can see him on Wednesday probably getting 30 points because he'll play more. He'll be more aggressive. He knows the foot is healthy now, and he'll be able to be more of himself. So I like what I saw. The question is now getting Anthony Davis to play like Anthony Davis did on Friday night, to get him to play like that when LeBron is in the lineup. And that's what people say, man, the Lakers, if AD and LeBron, they mesh, they play together, on all cylinders at the same time.
Yep.
The West could be in for a big problem.
Big problem. Agree. First question is, how did LeBron look? I thought he looked sensational, given the fact he was out for a month and missed 13 games.
Right.
He looked refreshed. He looked revitalized. He looked reasonably healthy. Mm-hmm. I saw explosion. I saw spring. I saw a confident driver of the basketball. I didn't see tentative. I didn't see, I don't know if I can try. No, he was full on, full out. Here we go. Mm-hmm. But what happened on the scoreboard was completely predictable, because I'm going to remind everybody, the Chicago Bulls, since the All-Star break, have won 6 out of 7 games on the road.
Okay.
If I look at what they've been doing on the road, I remind you, they did win at Denver. I remind you, they did win at Philadelphia. And I don't have to remind you, they just beat the Lakers on LeBron's return yesterday in an early game, which can be problematic for the Lakers.
It was problematic for me, and I didn't have to play.
Okay, because it's just weird out here. If you
really early.
live out here like we do, It's 12:30 tip-off. So those guys got to get up like it's a college football game, like you have to, everything is screwed up. Your whole system is screwed up. What time are you going to eat? Are you going to eat at 9? Are you going to eat a big breakfast? Are you going to eat a little breakfast?
Right.
How are you going to do this? It's all messed up. And yet the Bulls were here, and they're going to play here again tonight against the Clippers in the same building. We'll see how that goes. But by the way, they're 5-point dogs to the Clippers, which is a shock to me. But back to this game. Again, they have some Laker X's on their team, starting with Pat Bev. They have Caruso. They have guys who want to stick it to the Lakers, especially as LeBron returns. So what happened? Look, it's different for LeBron now. You know this. I know this. He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the all-time leading scorer in the NBA. What does that mean to his teammates? They're in even more awe than they were before. And he passed Kareem, and then what happened? He was gone. And they had to figure it out on their own. Well, what have they been doing just in and of themselves? If I look at what their record is, think about this. They're 10-5 since the All-Star break. They're 12-6 since the trade deadline. Good things are happening. I'm going to say it again. I loved what Rob Pelinka did at the trade deadline.
Right.
I loved getting out from under Russ and getting out from under Pat Bev. All of a sudden, the pieces are starting to fit, but they were starting to fit without LeBron. Now, we don't have D'Angelo Russell. He's got a hip injury, so he's missed the last 2. But Shannon, what did we just talk about last Thursday? We talked about how Austin Reeves came out of nowhere, out of Newark, Arkansas, undrafted free agent to take over the Lakers. On Wednesday night, they were chanting at that same arena, MVP, MVP. Well, he took over. He'd scored 35 the game before that, and then he took over that game, and he was closing for the Lakers. Well, what's going to happen if suddenly LeBron gets thrown back into the mix? And it was very sudden because I don't know what you thought, but I didn't know if LeBron was going to play yesterday.
No.
Okay, so remember, it was kind of weird sparring back and forth over the weekend between the Lakers. They're sort of leaking information. LeBron's going to be back sometime next week. And he immediately tweeted, I believe it was on Saturday, no, I speak for myself.
Right.
I set my own timeline. I'm paraphrasing, but he was the main line was, I speak for myself.
Right.
Okay, so he did not love that they seemed to be sort of urging him to come back.
Right.
Yet, he wakes up yesterday morning and he says, okay, let's upgrade to doubtful.
Right.
And then he goes out, bounces around a little bit, and he says, I'm questionable.
And then because he went from Friday, he was out, to Saturday, he was doubtful, then to questionable, and then game time decision. He's going to see how it feels at warm up, and then boom.
Okay, he did not start, but he did come off the bench.
Correct.
And he did play 30 minutes in this game.
Yes.
And they were impactful 30 minutes. But think about his teammates. Did they go to the arena early yesterday morning thinking LeBron's going to play today?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Because AD said after the game, I was surprised. And I'm pretty sure he keeps as close a touch with LeBron as anybody, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So even AD did not know. Okay, so what's going to happen if you throw the all-time leading scorer into a mix that had won 3 straight games? Everybody's standing around. I thought LeBron was really good while the rest of them were just watching LeBron. Well, what else are you going to do? What's Austin Reeves going to do? I got this. LeBron, get out of the way. I'm in charge now.
Right.
You don't understand. It's my team. He's not going to say that.
No.
And his numbers don't say that he said that. He backed completely off, right? I mean, look at how the shots fell for Austin Reeves yesterday.
He only had 10 shots. But don't skip, Malik Beasley had the most attempts, and he had 14. On all of his came from three-point line. So it was 14, 13, 10, and 10.
Okay, 6 of 14 from 3. That will actually work with LeBron back.
Yes.
And some of those were courtesy of LeBron James. Okay, so the point was, everything looked a little out of whack, and the Bulls just jumped all over them because the Bulls are cooking. And the Bulls wanted this a little worse than the Lakers wanted it, because when they walked out on the floor, it's not like we're here to play a game. We're actually here to try to figure out how to play with the king again.
Right.
Okay, so it takes off in the wrong direction, and before you look up, the Bulls were up at one point by 21 points.
Yes.
Well, what's going to happen?
Right.
Nothing good is going to happen.
No. I mean, Zach LaVine got it going in the second, Skip, and he just couldn't miss. And then, DeRozan, Skip, he get to that mid-range. I mean, you're just like, Coach, what you want me to do? You know he's the master of the mid-range. He don't miss. He gets 15, 16 feet.
Yeah.
He's not missing that shot.
Okay.
And LaVine just had it going
And by the way, DeMar DeRozan made both of his three-point shots. He doesn't shoot threes, but he was feeling so good about himself that he stepped into 2 threes. He has to, push it a little harder,
Right.
but they both got there,
Right.
and he made it because they are making just about everything.
They shoot about
They're on the
36%
rise.
from the 3, Skip. They
Okay.
shot 45% yesterday.
Okay, well, what are you going to do about that? How are you going to? Okay, which brings me to Anthony Davis. He also watched too much yesterday. I don't understand it because the productivity was there for AD. It just wasn't enough.
No.
We
8
saw
shots.
8 shots, but he makes 6 out of 8. And he does give you 9 rebounds, and he does give you 15 and 9.
Right.
Shannon Sharp, you're sitting courtside. What happened with about a minute or so left in the first half? What happened to the rival center? He got
ejected.
tossed.
Yeah.
And he should have gotten tossed because he's complaining about a foul on LeBron, which he banged him on the top of the head. I don't know what he's bitching about.
I think, Skip, he was saying, I got fouled on the other end.
Okay, well, that's fine. But you definitely fouled LeBron James. It wasn't even close.
Right.
And I don't know what he said, but it went boom, and you are gone.
Well, Tony Brothers is the one that threw him out of the game, but he wasn't the official that gave him the first tech.
No.
He just happened to be in earshot, and I guess he said the magic word, and
Okay, you are gone.
yeah.
Okay, what position does Vucevic play for the Bulls? I think he's the 5,
yeah,
right?
He is.
Okay, so if he only lasts for 15 minutes and 17 seconds of the game, so he's on his way to playing 30-ish minutes, but he doesn't get to play in the second half. What should AD do in the second half? He should terrorize.
Yes.
He should annihilate. He should dominate, and I don't know. He's watching LeBron. His button was not pushed.
Right.
His motor was not started. It wasn't bad, 6 out of 8 shots. But again, if we're talking about being a threat in the West, he has to come to play. And I